Hey everyone, it's Josh here, and if you're anything like me, you've waited too long and you haven't bought stocking stuffers. I literally have bought nothing. I'm in full panic mode, but before I help myself, I'm gonna help you. I'm just gonna tell you my top 10 favorite stocking stuffers for guitar players. You can check them out. There's even a link in the description below. You can click that, go straight to my list and purchase these because time's ticking. We just have a few days here, but all of these stocking stuffers can make it to you in time, so you won't be a complete disappointment. Up first is a 3-pack of Ernie Ball Slinky strings. 10 gauge Slinky electric strings. These are the most classic strings ever made. They work for anyone. If anyone can't use these, they don't need to play guitar. So rest assured, this is a safe choice for that guitar player in your life. Next up is the Boveda humidification system for your acoustic guitar. So I have several acoustic guitars and I live in the Midwest where there's zero moisture during the winter and it can dry them out and damage them. This is something I've used for years and years that has literally saved me thousands of dollars. So if you know a guitar player who plays acoustic guitar, they need to be humidifying their guitars in the wintertime, and this is my absolute favorite way to do that. At number 3, and these are in no particular order, I guess, number 3 is a ProCo RAT. It's the greatest distortion pedal ever made. It does fuzz, it does overdrive. You can play everything from Coldplay to John Scofield to Metallica and beyond. And it's like $68. This is a perfect stocking stuffer. People are gonna say that it doesn't sound like a vintage one, blah, 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 blah. It sounds great. Any guitar player can use this, from jazz to metal. It's the safest choice for that someone you know when you don't really know about guitar pedals. Next is the Planet Waves string winder with string clipper. If you're gonna change strings, you need to clip those off and you also have to wind them. This keeps that loved one that you have from spending 10, 20, 30 hours manually turning the headstock tuner. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but that's what it feels like when you're doing it. This tool's my favorite. I have these laying everywhere, all over JHS, all over my house. You can't beat it. It's a 2-in-1 tool that is completely unbeatable. Next up is a little shameless plug, but it's a device that I make that you can put in any guitar rig. It is the little black buffer. Basically, when people have a lot of pedals, those pedals can tend to suck the tone or the clarity out of the guitar signal. This little black buffer can fix that. So if you have someone you know and they have a lot of pedals, it can be life-changing. The Joyo Infinite Sustainer, it's great for guitarists who love ambient sounds, shoegaze, alternative. It's such a great songwriting tool. It essentially makes your electric guitar kind of sound like a violin or a cello. It could drive people crazy, but more than likely it's just going to sound beautiful. I mean, there's a 20% chance it'll drive someone crazy, maybe 35% chance. Next up is actually 2 things because I couldn't decide, so I'm kind of cheating here. These 2 devices, I would choose one. Now what they are is they're drum machines for the guitar player. You can put them on your board, and the drums are shockingly good to practice with. So if you know someone who plays alone a lot or they're learning, these 2 devices are honestly priceless to get the feel and rhythm of the guitar down along with a drummer. Now one of them is cheaper, it only has drum sounds, and the other one's a little more expensive because it'll actually loop your guitar with the drums. So you can record, it'll keep playing what you recorded and then play lead guitar over it. This is amazing for student learners or just people who play at home a lot and, you know, they don't have friends that want to jam with them because they're too awesome to jam with. And, you know, like when they show up, everybody's just intimidated. So they end up sitting at home alone a lot in their room. Not that I would know what that's like. I didn't sit at home for hours and months of years of my life as a teenager. I didn't do that at all. So I wouldn't know what that's like. You know, if I'd had something like this, I would have turned out way different. Probably more happy. I'd be a lot happier if I'd had this, but I didn't have this because it was the 90s and everything sucked. All right, we're getting close to the end. This is the Kyser Cut Capo. Now a capo bars off the neck of the guitar, essentially shortening the neck of the guitar so you can play in different keys, playing the same chords you've learned. Well, this is different. You put this on the 2nd fret of the guitar and it essentially open tunes the guitar. It's a hack. It's a magic trick, and it's super affordable. Most people don't even know this exists. I use it so much that I've hated it for using it so much, but then I always come back to it because my love for it outshines any hate I've ever had for it. It's an amazing device. Acoustic players and electric players will absolutely love this. One more shameless plug here, the JHS 3 Series Reverb. Again, it can be tricky buying someone pedals. You've got that guitar player in your life, but you just don't know what to get them because there's so many stinking pedals, and it's also confusing. This is the way to go. The JHS 3 Series Reverb, much like the RAT I showed you earlier, it works for everybody. It'll do all kinds of different reverbs, which is essentially the sound of a bigger room or a fake space. This is something super essential to electric guitar, and this is a safe purchase as a gift. Last but not least, and honestly, it is the greatest gift on this stocking stuffer list, it's the TC Electronics Polyclip clip-on tuner. I have 40 of these. I don't know where 38 of them are, but they're all over the place. They're amazing. They're super cheap. They're the best tuner you can buy, in my opinion, unless you're gonna put one on your board. It works for acoustic, it works for electric, it works for mandolin, banjo, anything. I even put one on my dog's leg one time just to see the resonant frequency of the dog. It didn't read, but you know, it's still cool. Anyway, that's it. That's the top 10 stocking stuffer list. Click the link in the description below and just purchase away because you still have time and you still don't have to be a failure.